The Unplayable Podcast is proudly presented by Qantas, the official podcast partner and the official airline partner of Cricket Australia. Once again this season, Qantas is proud to be flying Australia's cricketers as they take on the world. Hello, welcome to the Unplayable Podcast. Josh Schonafinger here to bring you this week's episode, and ahead of the Under-19 World Cup semi-finals, we've got Charlie Lachmund joining us as a special guest. He's been killing it with the ball from his 4 matches. He's already got 12 wickets in the tournament, and he's going to be one of the keys as Australia take on England in their semi-final, which is on Tuesday, February 3rd. Those matches can be watched on Prime Video, live and exclusively in Australia. Let's run you through their tournament so far, just in case you haven't been keeping across the Aussies, but there's been lots to be excited about. They started with an 8-wicket victory over Ireland. The Irish batted first, got 235, but the Aussies chased it down pretty comfortably. Stephen Hogan, who's been one of the stars with the bat, got 115, and Nitesh Samuel, 77 not out. He's been a bit of a quiet achiever. He's been opening the batting, but he's been not out in 3 of his 5 innings so far, so very impressive stuff. They then played Japan, who impressively got 200 against them. They got to bat first, but then Australia, you may have seen this one in the headlines. Will Malachek came out and scored 102 off 55 balls, the fastest century in under-19 cricket. Very impressive stuff from him. And of course, Nitesh Samuel at the other end was there with 60 not out. So another 8-wicket victory for Australia. They then got to play Sri Lanka, who are by no means a weak side. And you'll hear Charlie talk about his memories of this one. He took 2 wickets in this one. His new ball bowling partner, Will Byram, took 5 for 14, so 7 wickets between them, and they rolled the Sri Lankans for 58, setting up a very comfortable 9-wicket victory. South Africa were the next team to have to face the Aussies, and it was Australia again, who their bowling display was just outstanding. Lachmund, 3 for 29. Australia, after bowling out South Africa for only 118, they then got to their total with 4 wickets down and 6 in hand. So a 6-wicket victory got them there. Stephen Hogan again doing the business with the bat, 43 not out from him. And then finally, in their last match of the Super Sixers, which has propelled them into the semi-finals, they had to take on the West Indies. And for the first time this tournament, Australia got to bat first. They did it pretty well too on a tricky wicket that sort of suited the spinners. They got 7 for 314. Ollie Peake was the star with 109, really anchored that innings, got them up past 300, and it proved to be pretty important too, because after 11 overs, the West Indies were none for 88. They were zooming along in their chase, but some really good captaincy and some good bowling from the slower bowlers for Australia brought them back. They finished 22 runs short in the end, and it was Lachmund, that man again, who took the most wickets. After copping a bit of heat right at the start of that innings, he came back well and finished with 4 for 66. So now Australia take on England in that first semi-final. As I said, it's India and Afghanistan in the other one. It's going to be great fun to watch. It's in Bulawayo tonight in Zimbabwe. Nice evening time slot for the Aussies as well. So you can tune in certainly to that first innings. And if things are going well, you may as well stay tuned in for the second innings. So as touched on off the top, that chat with Charlie Lachmund, Australian fast bowler, is coming up very shortly. We'll get to him in just a second, but let's get across what's been happening with the Aussie men's team. They've just completed a 3-match series in Pakistan, T20 matches ahead of that T20 World Cup, and it didn't go so well, as you may have seen. 3-0, Pakistan won that one. They won the toss and batted first, the hosts, in all 3 matches, and all 3 matches were in Lahore as well, by the way. So no moving around, just straight into it, bang, bang, bang. And they won pretty comfortably. 22 runs in the first match, 90 runs in the second, and 111 runs in the third, which was the biggest defeat that Australia have ever suffered in T20 internationals. The previous biggest loss was 100 runs to England way back in 2005, right before that famous Ashes series took place. Pakistan actually outscored Australia by a combined 217 runs for the series. You have to go back to a series between Belgium and Malta. Yes, those two famous rivals back in 2022 to find a series with a greater discrepancy between the runs. On that occasion, Belgium were better than the Maltese by 288 runs. So some ways ahead of this one. But Pakistan were obviously the better team. Australia didn't manage any 50-run stands for the whole series. The highest score individually was Cameron Green's 36. And as pointed out by Louis Cameron on cricket.com.au today, the Aussies lost 22 wickets to spin in the 3 matches, which is their most ever in a 3-match series or any tournament of any length. 22 wickets. Abra Ahmed, the leg spinner, took 6. Mohammad Nawaz took 7. And Usman Tariq took 2, including having a little back and forth with Australian all-rounder Cameron Green. I'll be very interested to hear Kane Richardson's thoughts on that little back and forth when he returns to the pod very shortly. There have been a couple of changes to Australia's T20 World Cup provisional squad as well, now that the ICC needed those squads locked in at the start of this month. Pat Cummins is out. He couldn't get over that lumbar back stress issue that's been plaguing him for the best part of 6 months now, and he's been replaced by Ben Dorshus, the left armer. So that at least gives Australia a left arm pace option, given that Mitchell Starc is now retired from the format. The other surprise was that Matt Short, he was dropped from this squad. He's fully fit and he was playing in that Pakistan series, but he has been replaced. Matthew Renshaw has been preferred to him. The explanation given was that, Renshaw is very strong against spin. They're expecting to come up against a lot of that, especially in those Sri Lankan hosted matches. And he's obviously just recently debuted in the format as well. He made that first appearance for Australia in T20s just in that most recent series against Pakistan. So congratulations to Renshaw and to Dorshus, who come into that squad. Sean Abbott is another one who's coming in, not into the official squad, but as a travelling reserve, because there are a couple of injury clouds amongst that squad of 15 that Australia have chosen still ahead of this tournament. Josh Hazlewood isn't in the subcontinent just yet. He's still recovering from his Achilles injury in Sydney, so he'll join at a later date. And there are injury clouds over Adam Zampa, who didn't bat because of a groin issue in the third T20 against Pakistan, and hamstring issues to Nathan Ellis and Tim David. But the Hobart Hurricanes pair both couldn't finish the most recent Big Bash because of those injuries, but they've both travelled over and are both hopeful of playing a big part for Australia in this tournament. The selectors may be thinking that they've got a bit of time to allow these injuries to heal and to get their team right, because the early round of this tournament, Australia have some matches against some very lowly ranked opponents. Ireland is their first opponent. They're ranked 11th in the world. Then they play Zimbabwe, who are ranked 12th. They've got a match against Sri Lanka there, who are always strong at home, of course. And then the other team in their group is Oman, and they're ranked 20th in the world. So Australia only need to finish in the top 2 of those 5 to get through to the Super Sixes, where if they do progress, we already know that they'll play the likes of India, South Africa, and the West Indies. And so because of those matches at the start, I think Australia will be thinking that if they can just get those wins, then they can bring in the big guns and those first-choice players when the whips really will be cracking. Finally, let's have a look at the domestic stuff. And if you're listening to this podcast when it comes out on Tuesday, Feb 3rd, wow, there's lots of domestic cricket going to be across your screens on cricket.com.au and the CA Live app. 2 matches in the WNCL. Last year's final, we got a rematch of New South Wales versus Queensland, and South Australia, who have been very impressive recently, they take on Victoria. And then in the One Day Cup of the men's edition, Victoria are playing at the MCG. They are hosting Queensland. Those two always put on a good show, so that'll be a good one to watch as well. All right, it is time to jump into our chat with Charlie Lachmund, all the way over from Zimbabwe at the Under-19 World Cup. Hopefully he's going to be fit and firing to bring home some more silverware for Australia. Well, all the way from Zimbabwe, we're joined now by Charlie Lachmund, who's been starring with the ball at the Under-19 World Cup. Charlie, welcome, mate. How have you been enjoying the tournament so far?
So good. I haven't really been a part of anything like this before. And yeah, it's good to sort of, get that insight into how big the stakes are and how serious people treat it. And yeah, it's just awesome to play against some of the best players in the world for our age group, which is, it's unreal.
You've been part of the under-19s for a little while, but is this your first trip overseas playing cricket, or have you done a bit of travel already?
Yeah, it's my first cricket trip overseas. I hadn't been overseas since I was like 7 years old when I went to the US. so it's
Right.
quite foreign to me. Yeah, so when I came over here, I was a bit rattled about what was going on, but yeah, it's good to sort of be back in that sense because it's so different over here the way things work. You know, food and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to sort of adapt and be able to maintain performance whilst being over here with different environment.
Well, even the power sockets are different, aren't they? Like you can't just
Yeah,
plug in your Aussie charger, right? You got to get the African ones.
yeah, that was panic stations at the airport. Everyone was trying to go to the store to get it. Thank God for a helpful lady, but yeah, it was yeah, good, very different here.
Yeah, and you're in a great part of the world. Obviously, Zimbabwe and Namibia have some amazing sights to see. Have you been able to get out much and do a safari or something like that?
Yeah, we did a safari in Namibia. It was a sunset safari. Yeah, that was interesting. Never done anything like that. Yeah, it was good to see the animals. I mean, some of the lions weren't too keen to poke their face out, which is the one I wanted to see. But you got to see elephants, zebras, all the cool stuff. It was good because you're quite confined in the hotel and the cricket environment, and it was good to sort of get out and do something else other than cricket and watching TV.
That's great. And I imagine you don't get too many elephants in Toowoomba either. So
Yeah,
nice little
zero.
change up. When did you learn that you'd made the under-19 squad? Do you remember getting a call or was there a text message sent out? Talk us through that moment and what you sort of were feeling at the time.
Yeah, it was the end of the 19s national championships in Perth, which was great time. Loved it. Some of the best tournaments you'll ever go to. And we were at the airport going back to Brizzy, and our Queensland coach Greg Moller came up and shook my hand and said, "Congratulations, mate. You've made it." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's pretty good." I was pretty stoked, and it was good to see the other Queensland boys that I was on the plane with share that experience. Stevie Hogan, Jaden Draper, and Ben Gordon. It was pretty special to see so many Queenslanders in the squad and be able to celebrate a good week in Perth, and then to top it off, make the Aussie side. Yeah, no, it was good. And then obviously Tim Nielsen sent the message to say I was in, so it was. Yeah, I was very stoked. Mum and Dad very happy. Yeah, it was nice.
That's fantastic. Any family coming over for the tournament at all?
Yeah, Mum and Dad came, and my sister Lola came over
Fantastic.
to Namibia, which was awesome. They originally weren't going, but they got quite greedy and couldn't miss out on the opportunity. Yeah, they've loved it. They're not seeing the Zimbabwean games. Just it's a bit pretty tough to sort of organise that stuff short term. I know some of the parents have. And they've obviously to go back to work, but yeah, they've loved it. They've loved the difference. I guess I was talking about. They've something different. They've been in Australia for a while now. They've been overseas for a bit. So it was good for them to obviously watch some unbelievable cricket and also just see the sights, which was nice.
Yeah, that's right. And to see their son and brother get a few wickets is a good thing as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it was good.
it looks like a pretty tight, close-knit team from what we see on TV. And you mentioned those Queenslanders that are in the squad with you. Who are you closest with and who are your best mates? Or have you made some mates from other states that might have surprised you at the start of the tournament?
Yeah, I think I'd said in an earlier interview that it's a bit of a special group that everyone kind of gets around each other. That you never see a team room not packed. Yeah, it's good. I knew some of the boys from the Indian series. Which are good. Became really close mates with them. Obviously my Queensland mates are, some of my best mates. But yeah, I've met some new blokes across the states that, have proved to be really valuable blokes. And I'm definitely keeping contact with them going forward.
That's great. Before we get into the actual cricket itself, when you're not playing cricket, Charlie, what do you do to pass the time? Do you have hobbies? Are you a fisherman? Do you play other sports? What do you get up to? I guess because I've just finished school, so it was quite
not a whole lot going on outside of cricket and that. I do love my phone. I love a doom scroll. But yeah, there's not really. I probably need to adapt a hobby. And yeah, I guess I'll start uni soon, so I guess that'll take up a lot of the time as well. So I'll probably need to find something now.
Do you have a course locked in that you're going to study?
Yeah. I'm studying law at QT, starting at the end of next month, which will be nice. Bit of change of scenery outside of the boring, monotonous life of school, which is I'm sure law will provide some entertainment. Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some boring moments too, though, I imagine. So it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So yeah, you're over there in Zimbabwe now. Now, I have heard you say that there were a few differences between playing in Namibia and playing in Zimbabwe. Can you just explain sort of that? Because from an Australian point of view, I would have assumed all of Southern Africa would be pretty similar, but that hasn't been your experience.
Yeah, Namibia was very similar to the decks I play in Australia. Quite, yeah, as I said, bouncy. Sometimes it was a bit different because we played on different wickets, but there were certain like similar characteristics. That obviously the bounce, some were tennis bally, and then just pretty flat. It was really good cricket wickets, for good games. It proved that bowling first in the morning, which is quite nice. It had a bit of stuff early, and it became quite flat in the afternoon, which I think that's very similar in the games that I played in Australia. However, Zimbabwe is a bit different yesterday. The wicket we played on, it was lovely stadium, but very, very crumbly wicket. Very flat, dry. Yeah, it was very different. I hadn't really played on anything like it. The footing was a bit tough for me. But yeah, it was spinner friendly. As you saw on the scorecard, the spinners bowled the house down. They proved very useful. Naden Corey and Aryan Sharma. They set the game up really. I mean, Naden got the big wicket of old mate who was whacking him. But yeah, it was very different. Pretty low and slow. That's what I'd say, and crumbly.
Yeah,
in Zimbabwe.
And the West Indies gave you guys a bit of a run for your money, which is sort of the first close game you've had in the tournament. That must be good, though, to show that you guys are able to get over the line in close games as well, coming to the pointy end of the season, or of the tournament.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what we spoke about, even out in the field. Said that it's going to be good. We needed to have a game like that sort of challenged our bowling because, the other games mightn't have, been, they're a little bit one-sided in our bowling innings. There are a couple of early scares against Ireland and etc. But, it was good to sort of get a vibe of what it's going to be like in the semi and final. And we've played India before. We understand that they go about a similar business in the, power play. Just trying to take on the game, hit the ball hard, hit a lot of boundaries. So it was actually awesome to sort of get in that different contest and, find ways to win, because I guess that's what good teams do. They always find a way to win games, no matter how the circumstances. So, yeah, it was a little bit messy at the start, but, yeah, it was good to sort of clean it up and then get the job done.
Yeah, and look, sometimes you just got to win ugly as well, and that's fine. Speaking of that India series, mate, you dismissed that Indian gun, Shrivanshi, didn't you? With a nice delivery, and there's every chance that Australia will have to play India again in this tournament. I mean, what is it like coming up against someone like that who's already got a massive international reputation, and yet he's still only playing under 19s?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I hadn't played against him before. Some of the boys had in an early India series. But yeah, it was quite. It was a little bit weird that you're staring down the barrel of a bloke who's scored 100 off God knows how many balls in the IPL against some of the best bowlers in the world. And now you're bowling to him. It's a bit, what's going to happen here? So it's kind of once you sort of, I guess I found once I, started bowling to him, you can kind of pick up. Ways to, find ways to get him out and, even not just get him out, but restrict him, which is quite difficult, as you've seen with the scores. But yeah, it's a very different sort of thing playing against India because they take on the game in different ways and play that dictate the game how they want to do it. It's even more satisfying when you get to stop them from going about their business.
Absolutely, yeah. We can just ignore those teammates getting past the back of the shaft.
Yeah, that's two of them tried to walk in before, and one's poked his head in.
Ollie Peak has called you the fastest bowler in the attack. What has been the fastest you've been clocked at, to your knowledge?
I haven't been clocked in in a bit. I was clocked in the Indian series. I was around the mid 130s. But I got clocked 2 years ago, about 18 months ago at Queensland Cricket. That was 137.
Right. Wow.
So I don't know whether that's increased or not. Who knows? But yeah, it's almost kind of when there's a speed gun at the ground, you kind of go against putting it on the spot, and you're like, I'm just trying to ramp it up here. So it's kind of good that sometimes you're not getting gunned. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this current speeds I'm going at. Yeah, as I said, who knows if I've increased, I might have gone backwards, but yeah, good.
Surely for the semi-finals and finals, they can bring out the speed gun this tournament. I'd love to see that. Is the goal to be able to bowl 150? Is that what a young fast bowler wants to do, or are you more worried about maybe emulating what Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood have done these days and just be consistent around the 140s?
Yeah, it's not really. I'm just trying to get to 140 first, but yeah, 150 would be unbelievable. But yeah, I guess I kind of, as you said, the Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood, those blokes, that's what I kind of, obviously I want to bowl as fast as I can, see what I can get to. But obviously there's going to be a time where I'm going to, max out. I guess I'll just have to rely on craft and putting on the spot similar to them. But yeah, we'll just try and get to 140 first and try and bowl as fast as I can at the moment.
And are you somewhat of a fast bowling nuffy? Like, do you just love every skill aspect of it and the technical side? And you're watching someone like Mitch Starc run in and bowl 145 for the whole day. Are you somebody who really enjoys that side of it as well? Yeah.
I love when we win the toss and bowl first in the test. It's good when Stark's got a fresh ball in his hand. I do watch a lot of it. Love watching those cricket.com from the bowl videos with like Dale Steyn, James Patson. They're all unbelievable to watch. I reckon I've watched them multiple times, all of them. I'd say I'm not sure enough here. Like I love it. No, I probably am. I don't know, but yeah, I do love it.
That's great. And now there have already been some amazing performances from your teammates at this tournament. Malachek, Peak, Byram. Any that stand out to you where you thought, wow, that was next level sort of stuff from your teammates?
They're all, amazing. I haven't seen ball striking from anyone outside of Will Malachek ever.
Really?
Against Japan, that was unbelievable. Some of the sixes that he was hitting. That's obviously amazing. Peaky's 100 yesterday in the circumstances and the conditions was unbelievable. But I thought that Will Byron, that's the one that kind of comes to mind the most because I got to sort of share it with him bowling up the top and to roll Sri Lanka for such a low total, like 58. And they're not a bad side at all. Very good side. And yeah, that's quite a special moment. And it was just good to sort of see him, he's young, he's still got another year of Oz 19s. It was good to see him, take on, I guess perform at his very best at the top level in the world for his age group. It was good to share that with him, opening the bowling with him, take a few poles. It was nice.
Absolutely. And you've taken 12 yourself in the 4 games so far. What do you think has worked so well for you in this tournament? Have you been, like you said earlier, just putting it on the spot rather than trying to ramp it up to your max speed?
Yeah, definitely try and compose yourself a bit, because you can kind of catch yourself trying to bowl too fast, and then that kind of throws off your accuracy, etc. Yeah, I've kind of just tried to put it in the right areas, hit the stumps a lot. That's mainly been our plan. Hit the top of the stumps. It proves quite useful. I know it's quite a simple concept, but it's very very useful. It's hard to get it off the square, really, and if they try to, then it goes up the chute. Yeah, it's worked a lot. Those simple plans. But yeah, just for me, it was bowl at a decent pace. Swing it. Swing's been nice, particularly in Namibia. Yeah, it's swinging into the pads, stumps. Just bring all the dismissals into play. Has worked really well.
Amazing. Well, good luck for the rest of the tournament, mate. Really appreciate your time, and hopefully you can bring home another trophy for Australia.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Josh.